In what is fast becoming one of the greatest rifts of our time, some have said, the Daily Mail recently reported that Gen Z is waging war on sandwiches, opting for trendier and more varied fillings, leaving the traditional choices in the dust. Now, just a quick warning before I do share this, some of these findings may be disturbing. The report found that only 1 in 100 Gen Zers would consider using traditional English mustard in their ham sandwiches, which is horrifying because obviously English mustard doesn't even taste a bit like poison. On top of this, Gen Z are also betraying our nation by choosing continental cheeses almost half of the time rather than our own homegrown local British owned cheddar. I'm sorry. It's hard to keep it together when I think about people turning their backs, particularly on cheddar. So just give me a second. Sorry. Obviously, this is a major issue, and in a completely earnest attempt to contribute to the nation's conversation, and not a really desperate attempt to gain some views in the search results. The report has even prompted a number of extremely valuable think pieces from our media, like this wonderful bit of thought leadership from The Independent. Now, Femi, I know some of our followers might suggest that this is just some sort of soulless grab for attention at worst and the beginnings of yet another unnecessary generation war being stirred up at best. But do you think there's something deeper behind the way these stories are being framed?
No.
Okay. Thanks. On to next topic. Thanks.
Well, I genuinely do sometimes wonder whether or not it is deliberate because, like, how do outlets like the Daily Mail ever redeem themselves within the eyes of the public after everything they've done? Like, the advantage we have in the UK is that we've seen a lot of the far right agenda play out, and it has ended up hurting working class people, the same people that the far right rags claim to be the champions of. And so, how do they win back the public, given that Gen Z want nothing to do with that kind of narrative? And I think that they have to try and act like the whole thing was always a joke, like they were always
Mm,
just a parody of themselves, and they just do more and more ridiculous stuff that nobody could ever take seriously. So that in the end, no, we were on your side from the beginning. We're just making fun of all those boomers. We were with you, Gen Z. That
mm.
has to be the reason.
I feel, yeah, I don't know. I feel maybe they are trying to just put themselves in, like they're trying to make themselves like, oh, we're just funny guys. We just do all these funny kinds of
Mm.
headlines, and they're trying to pull themselves away from the one about the gay gene being discovered as an abortion hope or whatever. They're trying to kind of pull themselves back into it. I do think it was really funny though that the Independent did a follow up just as a little attempt to jump on the search results. Like someone actually did sit down and do a full extra article to add to the noise. But
Mm.
yeah, it's depressing, and it also always makes me feel nervous when you've got whenever these sorts of stupid headlines come up. It does make me think like, what kind of horrible thing is happening?
Mm.
What new horrible thing is happening? That means that they're giving us this instead.
Support independent media, support social justice that's there on social media. Thank you. Turn left.